Now, loyalty is and ought to be a powerful virtue, of course. But I confess I am still struggling to sort out precisely what principle was being asserted. Does loyalty to the people you're comfortable with, or whose displeasure you wish to avoid, provide them a sort of blanket absolution for any premeditated wrong they might commit? If you consent to a friend's cheating on an exam or plagiarizing a paper, does the same principle require you to do the same if your friend is selling drugs, or embezzling money, or torturing an animal, or committing an assault? Well, I hope and I presume not. And if the principle ceases to be in effect at some point on that spectrum, if at some point you say, well, I'm not going along with that, then it isn't much of a principle at any point. And the friend who does any of these things and self-servingly expects your compliant silence isn't much of a friend. If we anchor our ethical principle for those of others who have fewer of them, we are in effect putting our own into hock. Giving an unprincipled friend a pass is the easy wrong. Aspire to the hard right, and remember, an honest man, an honest woman will have no other. Now, I do not claim that we live or ought to live in a society of rigid, legalistic, moral absolutes. We live with a lot of gray areas, and they require honesty and wisdom and maturity to navigate. And we have to acknowledge that we will all make a bad call now and then, and we have to be prepared to forgive ourselves and each other when we do. Dear inductees, I realize I run the risk of baffling you or even offending you by choosing this subject to discuss today. Surely you, of all people, have proven yourselves honorable men and women. Your very presence here today speaks to that. But it is worth reminding you, and all your colleagues in the class of 2013, how important honor must be, particularly for you. Because you will likely go on to have the same sort of impact on the world that you have had here. Because you are more likely than most to have successful and important lives. In accomplishing all that you have with honor, you have honored yourselves and your families, and you have honored us, as we have watched your intellect and your character grow and mature since you first came to Harvard-Westlake. So I want to conclude, as I always do, with a word of gratitude to you from all your teachers. Every day that you have been among us, you have helped to remind us just why it is we love our job. Thank you for your teachers, for your friends, and above all, your families are and of right ought to be immensely proud of you today. Enjoy it. You earned it. Congratulations and good luck.